We are back on the Real News. Barron and Brian covering the news that the mainstream puppet corporate-owned press dare not report, and we're going to continue with that this segment. Again, next week, our guest will be Virginia Fox. She'll be taking some questions from you, the listeners, and next hour we've got several items we want to cover. Then we're going to go to the phone. So go ahead, Brian, get us started in our last segment this hour.
This was written by Scott Wagner. He's a police academy commander and professor at Columbus State University College in Columbus, Ohio, and commander of the 727th Counter-Terror Training Unit, a 29-year law enforcement veteran and current deputy sheriff. He's also a precision marksman for the Union County Sheriff's Office SRT team. Sales of guns, black guns, rifles, shotguns, and handguns everywhere have gone through the roof. AR-15s have literally blown off dealer shelves. Manufacturers of ARs are still working to catch up, and some of the major suppliers are as much as 150,000 guns behind. Not only that, ammo is in the shortest supply I've ever seen in my 43 years of shooting life. Have you recently tried to get 5.56 or 9mm ammo? What is odd about this new fear is that it's not coming from the average citizen gun owner out here, but it's coming from what to me is an almost shocking source: street cops. Street cops and SWAT cops that I've known from various agencies, rural, suburban, metro, in my area, are scared. Cops that before November 2008 never gave much thought to politics and, more importantly, to gun rights. For the most part, these guys didn't generally have any interest in shooting or gun ownership beyond keeping track of where their duty gun is, and a few of them couldn't even do that. The guys I'm talking about now are some of the same guys who used to not carry off duty on a regular basis, but not anymore. They don't scare easily. Defenders of the Constitution of this state and the United States, as our oath of office reads, have been buying ARs, survival gear, and ammo, all that they can lay their hands on. What are we so suddenly afraid of? Well, in our discussions, it seems to boil down to four areas. First, fear of federal government intrusion into our lives. Every time I look or listen to the news, there's something new and intrusive coming out of the Obama administration and this Congress. New tax schemes, government-run Canadian-style health care, a volunteer citizen defense force equipped with funding similar to that of our military, forced voluntary service after retirement, a lack of a southern border with hordes of illegal and criminal aliens pouring over our border, the swine flu scare, as well as government-forced closing of thousands of privately held Chrysler and GM dealerships, which will be the final nail in the coffin for these companies, and the list goes on and on and on. But these items are in the news are just the tip of the iceberg. We can't see the full impact of these actions yet, but we don't know when was added in thousands of pages of stimulus package bills in the dead of night. I predict, however, when the plans contained in the stimulus packages go into full effect, a lot of us are going to be surprised, if not shocked, by what suddenly and sweeping changes occur. What also scares us is a second, well-funded fear that there is an assault weapons ban looming, one that would make the Clinton ban appear to look like disdain in comparison. What if a new ban comes requiring registration or confiscation and turn-ins, such as happened in Australia? I foresee much civil disobedience coming down the road. Americans are citizens and not subjects like the British, Canadians, or Australians. They just don't always obey the law blindly, and not one officer or citizen that I've spoke to said anything like, "I hope I get to keep this gun for a while before they're banned. They're fun to shoot, so I'd hate to give it up." It isn't going to happen, so the cop on the street and the soldier on the base needs to think now what he will do if the orders come down. I think you get what I'm saying here. This leads me to a third fear, that there is a revolution coming. Yes, a revolution on the scale of the original American Revolution. You can hear this topic being discussed on many of the talk radio shows by even some of the big-name hosts. The possibility of an armed revolution against the U.S. government is being discussed, although very gingerly and fleetingly as something to be avoided, which it is. Number 4 on the list of fear is general societal chaos. Cops fear for their parents, wives, children, grandchildren more now than ever before. Most cops are encouraging their spouses and loved ones to get a concealed carry permit. They're also strapping on heavier forms of off-duty hardware. I have friends that are issued ARs or subguns for tactical use, who always have their gear with them or are planning to commandeer these weapons for personal use and defending their home. This is pretty heady and maybe even dangerous stuff. Know fully that I'm not advocating anything here. I'm reflecting to you what I see and hear going on around me, and maybe saying things that haven't been said in the open until now. It's something to think about.